Hi there, it's Alan from Hyperstream and welcome to this WordPress Basics video. In this video I'm going to show you how to install a plugin. It may seem like a quite straightforward procedure, but if you don't know how to do it, then this is how you do it. Okay, so what you need to do is log into WordPress, log into your dashboard. Over on the plugins panel, quite simply, go to add new, and then you can search for the plugins that you want to install. So let's say I want to install a plugin for social, maybe a social widget or something. So let's have a look for social plugins, see what we've got here. Okay, let's find one here. So you just look through the directory, find the one you want to install. You know, a good indicator of a good plugin is generally the star rating of how many times it's been used as well. So if you notice I move my mouse over here, it tells you how many times it's been rated, but that also doesn't tell you how many times it's been downloaded. If you want to know how many times something's been downloaded, if you open up the where is it? It's not here. There it is. Yeah, that's the information. But what you can do is go to the So you just open the details in another tab, and it'll give you the full details about the plugin. So here it tells you how many times it's been downloaded, what version of WordPress it's compatible with, which is important. You know, it's worth checking that, or up to. When it was last updated. Don't really want to get plugins that are really out of date unless they're rock solid plugins which have been used by millions of people. You know, generally if they don't always update plugins if they work, you know, if they might have got to a certain stage in their cycle where they've got to maybe as good as they need to be. So, you know, it's not always a good indicator whether or not if they've been updated recently. But you generally want to look if it's a relatively new plugin, if it's an active plugin, if the developer is active in the development of that plugin, how many times it's been rated, star rating, all that kind of stuff. Those are good indicators of a good plugin. But that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to show you how to install the plugin. So once you've found the plugin you want to install, click on the Install Now button. Simple as that. Press the OK. Now, this is quite an important point, depending on your setup, you may not be able to install the plugin via this method. You may have to install it via your FTP program, because if your web host has restricted the permissions on your server, it may not allow you to do it this way. So you may need to contact your web host to allow you to change the permissions to allow you to upload or install plugins via this method, because this is by far the quickest and simplest method of installing plugins. But I'm going to show you the other method just in case you can't get around the security permissions. So once you've done this, click on the Activate plugin, and that's it. It's now activated. Then you need to go into the specific instructions for that plugin. Always look at the instructions, read the instructions, save yourself a lot of time. So you'll find the documentation. Usually documentation will be on the WordPress codex, which is, where did I see that? So if I go into here, visit site. If you go to this visit site, usually they'll give you details about this specific plugin. It hasn't got one here, but let's go back. This may not be the best plugin to install, but here we go. Okay, so on the codex, it gives you how to install it. I'll give you an FAQ. This is probably not the best one to view. If I go to the actual WordPress site, because currently we're on, it's showing me through my own site. So if we go to wordpress.org and then do a search for that plugin. So this is another way of doing it. So if that other way doesn't work, I'm going to just show you now how to install the plugin via the other method. So you can still search via the other way, but this is the way I'd do it if you can't get around the security permissions. So do a search for the plugin, go to the WordPress, here we are, go to the WordPress codex, so plugin directory rather, and then search for the plugin you want. So here's one. You then download it. So you have to download the file onto your computer. Okay. And now we show that in the folder. Now what we need to do is extract. Either you can upload that via the. Actually, I'm not going to show you that way. you need to do this via FTP. So go extract all the files and then open the folder with the extracted files. So I'm just extracting those files now, and there we are. So there's the folder that I need to upload. So this is the folder you need to upload, the whole folder, not the files within the folder, just the whole folder to the plugins directory. Now the plugins directory, if you don't know, if you go into WordPress, go into your installation folder, and you'll find that, where is it? In the WP content folder, and then you look for plugins, and this is where you need to install the plugin. So you just simply drag, go open up your FTP program and drag it into the plugins folder like so. Okay, I'm not going to do it because I don't need to do it, but just drag it into that folder, and then you will see it won't activate the plugin. You then need to go back to your installation once it's uploaded and then activate the plugin. So what you'll see, let me just deactivate this, you'll see all of the plugins here, you'll see it here, but then you need to click on the activate button to actually activate it. So just click on the activation button, it'll activate the plugin, and then you're set to go. So that's it, that's how you install plugins. And if there's anything else you want to know about, if you want to delete a plugin, well, if you want to deactivate a plugin, I've just shown you that. You can then, if you want to delete it from WordPress, you deactivate it and then click on the delete icon. So just delete it. The other way, of course, if you can't do it this way, you have to log into your FTP and delete it that way. And in fact, if you've got a problem, for example, with WordPress, maybe you can't log into the admin, sometimes what happens if you install a plugin, it could completely break your site. So actually, it's really important that you have access to FTP, because it's like an emergency backup way of getting into your site to remove the problem folder or plugin. And I've had that quite often happen to me, as I'll install a plugin and it will completely break the site, and then I have to log into FTP to find that plugin, delete the folder, and then the website works again. So just be aware of that, little tip for you. Okay, so I hope that's helped. If you've got any comments, feedback, I'd love to hear it. Any more questions? I'm looking for questions and things I'd like to give to you. Tell me what you want to know about WordPress. That's what I'm here for. I'm looking to do a regular show on this, so it'll be the WordPress. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Love some titles, but I think I'll call it the WordPress show or something. But I'm probably going to include more things other than WordPress. But there we go. So that's how to install a plugin and delete a plugin. So there we go. Take care. Bye bye.